Hello, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to come on and try a little something new and do a mix breakdown of one of my new songs that's on Spotify and Apple Music and all those streaming platforms called No More Colors. Let's just get into it. So first I'm going to start with the master bus. I didn't send this to anybody for mastering. I just had Logic do it for me, which I think is a great new feature of Logic lately, is that I pressed the button and it mastered it for me. It got the limiter on it, it got the spread, everything. It got, I can change the character of it using one of these 4 settings. And then it gave me this EQ curve, which I actually raised up a little bit. This auto EQ, because it'll read the song for you and then it'll give you an EQ. And this is a really great curve, and I really liked it whenever I listened to it, so I used it. It's that simple. If you like it, use it. The other thing I have on here is a virtual tape machine. I just slapped it on. No presets, literally nothing. It just slapped on there. It works great. First things I want to get into is the drums, because for me, that is the basis of every mix. So I always mix the drums first. Let's take a little listen to them real fast. Now let's solo them. So what I try to do with a lot of my mixing is I don't like to use much. I try to use just what I have to. There's some things that just sound great by itself. I think the great thing about these drums is that they sound great by themselves. And let me show you what I use for them. Right here, I have the Get Good Drums Modern and Massive kit. I like to use these tamas, the 2 toms and the bass drum for the tamas. They only have minor cymbals on this. And then there's this Pearl Studio snare that I really enjoy to use for this song, and it just sounds great. So just by themselves, the drums sounded great. I didn't have to do much with it. So I did a little stuff on the snare top. I took out some of those wheezing tones that really just don't sound good. I took out every single note of it. So let me just play back the snare top and I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's that note right there. And you can raise up all of these and just... So that's every single one on 4 different octaves. With the rest of the snare top, I just put this drive on it and it sounds great. It sounds amazing just by itself. There's absolutely no compression going into this. It's pretty much compressed whenever it comes out of Get Good Drums anyways, actually. Snare bottom, did a little bit of EQ on it, just lowered the 2K and it sounds great. Got a little bit of bleed in there, nothing crazy, but it honestly adds to it. The kick here, I've just got a little bit of compression going into the bus on it. The sum has a little EQ. Literally, I'm just raising up 250 to get some of that little kick noise in there, because I'm really not looking for a growling thud. What I'm looking for is a noise that's going to simulate a kick. So it's this little, it's just a little 250. And then I got the little bit of the sub in there. It's mixed pretty low in there. It has literally nothing on it. The toms, I have basically the same EQ on both of them. It's just a little bit lower on one of them than the other. I raised up a good bit of high end and just took out all this rumbling low end. I'll take off the EQ and I'll show you what it sounds like without that low end on it. We just first play just the rack tom. Then I'll play the floor tom. It still has a little bit of rumble to it, but if I take this off, it gets even worse. I'll play both of them at the same time. And it really just has this rumbling low end that I cannot stand, and so it just got rid of a good bit of that whenever I did that EQ. And then we have an 1176 compressor on it, just doing a little bit there. Nothing crazy. With the cymbal bus, we have a little EQ on it. We're taking out a lot of the high end and taking out anything below 200 around here. I also have a little bit of compression on it, nothing crazy. And that's all there is to it. I didn't put anything else on these. Very simple. nothing crazy going on there. Then we got the room mics. And honestly, they pretty much have nothing on them. They're pretty low, and they just sit in the mix and they add that little extra room ambience to it that you're not going to get if I don't have it. So let me play it with and without real fast. There's a little bit of ambience to it, but whenever you turn off, you can really notice. It's just really dry now. Back it with it on. Now we're going to move on to the guitars. All these guitars, I used Neural DSP plugins with them. So I have Archetype Rabea on this, and then I have Mesa Boogie, and I use Mesa Boogie for the pre-chorus. For the lead, I use the Mesa Boogie, and then for the verses, I use the Archetype Mateus Asato. With the bass, I used Parallax. I can't get enough of my Neural DSP. So the rhythm guitars are all double tracked on each side. I have an Archetype Rabea rhythm left and right, and then I have the Mesa Boogie rhythm left and right. The leads, pre-chorus, verses are all just in the mix. There's no doubling of them. Very simple stuff. So let's just take a quick listen to these guitars. I'll play a little bit of the verse. One thing that I did with every single one of these guitars is I took out the low end and I also took out all of the high end. If you take it away, then that information isn't being clouded in the top end and the low end. So I'd rather have the low end and the top end be used for other things than having the guitars in it. So I just totally took it out. So let me play a little bit with and without on this guitar with Rabea on it. Here there's a lot of extra information on the top and the bottom of it. My goal is to always get this wall of guitars that it's almost unobtainable, but we're getting close whenever we take that out. There's no compression on any of these guitars. They're just the way that they are. There's a little bit of compression at the very end on here, just to level. The bass has absolutely nothing on it. It sits in the mix and it sounds great. A lot of distortion to it. It really, the bass is always going to change the tone of the song, just like the guitar tone. So now I've got a couple synths in here. So there's this little cymbal riser at the beginning that goes well with this guitar fade in that I have, which is the total opposite. I have this fade out. I just took that clip, reversed it, and slapped it at the beginning for the start of this song. The second synth I have is something from Anna 2. I've completely distorted it pretty much. With this, I just turn it all the way up. It goes a little bit into the red there. Turn it down. The same thing with this synth here for the verses, which just adds a little layer to it. Also distorted as well. So this first synth here, it matches pretty much with this lead for the choruses. Then this other synth, it just has a little extra melody for the verses in it, just to give it a little bit more texture. Okay, so let's move on to the vocals here. So I just have this verse bridge vocal, I have a little pre-chorus vocal, and then I also have, this is all for the chorus here. We have the main chorus, we have a chorus left, chorus right, and then we have a little bit of a harmony in it. So let me just play you this verse, bridge, vocal soloed a little bit. I'll play a little bit from the first verse and then a little bit from the bridge.
Sun that hits my eyes, kills me inside. You were the morning to my night, the stars to my sky. Walking away was hard to do in the first place, but to keep living was harder than it all.
So these are pretty simple. I just have tuning on everything, tuning on absolutely everything, and on the vocals. And then here I have a de-esser, and then I have this virtual channel. I have the LA2A going on it, and then really simple EQ, which is on every single vocal. Anything above 8K, I'm raising up to get that air in my vocal. I'm getting 4.5, and then I get 2, and I raise that up, and then I take out anything below around 60. I have some buses on here that I use mostly in the vocals. There's a little bit in the drums. I have my reverb bus, which I'm using this Verb Suite Classics with a CLA preset. I have tube delay from Soft Tube here, nothing crazy, and smash and grab from Get Good Drums for parallel compression. So I have reverb and delay on every single vocal, some less than others. And then I have the parallel compression on the main chorus vocal just to get it to stand out. The only difference really between this chorus vocal and the other vocals in the song is that I do have that parallel compression, and I also put this little bit of distortion from the preamp on it, and that just gives it a little bit extra character to stick out in the mix. Let me play just a little bit of the chorus.
No more colors, 'cause they remind me of you.
Let me play it with the rest of them.
No more colors, 'cause they remind me of you. No more secrets, I was good at keeping them away from you. Take me away, I wanna be safe. I can't keep saying I'm okay, 'cause all the colors that I see remind me of you.
Just really simple stuff. It's pretty much the same for every single vocal. The background vocals are just turned down more than the lead vocal. Alright, so that's going to be the video. If you guys enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more mix breakdowns, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to make another one. Thanks so much for watching.